Meet Ugami Fuyuko, a certain girl, who seemed like she'd blend in well with others, but preferred to be alone. But it's not like she's not willing to socialize and befriend others. Here lies the story of a stoic, cool girl, who was actually just a sweet maiden towards her love interest. We start with her friend, Makiba, who questioned Fuyuko if she's going to spend her time at the cafeteria, to which she affirmed. Makiba asked her what she'll be having in her plate, and he was told that she's going to get the fried chicken set. Later at the cafeteria, the two settled on a table. As they sat down, Makiba asked Fuyuko if she always eats here in the cafeteria, and she replied that she does from time to time. Fuyuko added that she'd prefer to eat at a convenience store. Then she redirected the question towards him, but Makiba just told her that he was empty-handed. Suddenly, silence broke through the atmosphere around them as both stared at each other. Then Makiba asks her if she always eats alone. Fuyuko replies that she does. And then he follows up with another question, asking her about the food being bland when she eats alone. She denied his assumption and explained that it's the same taste regardless. Makiba was left thinking for a moment. Then, he compliments her by saying she's cool, but Fuyuko humbly denies it. He seemed curious on how she just does things by herself, but he was told that she can do the things she does easily all by herself. Makiba continued to call her cool, but still she denies it. A bit later, he gets up from his seat to get some tea. While Makiba was refilling the tea, we see a reverse 360, from a cool girl to a sweet maiden out in the wild, enjoying the time she spent together with Makiba. When Makiba gets back with another cup of tea, Fuyuko reverts back to her persona as she thanked him for giving her another cup. As they continued eating, Fuyuko joyfully wags her tail secretly like a pup after receiving a kind gesture from her friend. After a while, before Fuyuko leaves her classroom, her friend was inviting her to stop by at Starbucks, but she rejected her and told her that she's going home alone today. Her friend was saddened by her cold response, but she told her that she's just valuing her time more. Later outside, Fuyuko coincidentally met Makiba, who was fixated on something, so she went to ask what he was doing. He told her that he wanted to try the new drink from Starbucks, but he forgot his wallet. Seeing how helpless Makiba was, Fuyuko did him a favor and bought him a drink since she was about to get one herself. After a quick dessert, Makiba was thankful for her kindness and told her that he'll repay her back tomorrow, to which she told him to get something in return. As Makiba left, Fuyuko couldn't bear the pleasure as she crouches down, relishing the experience that just happened in her night, and was happy being with him. She eventually gets up and walks away, carrying all the excitement as she wags her tail like a pup, thinking about how adorable Makiba was. The next day, inside the school, their teacher announces that they'll be changing their seating plan. At the back of the room, Fuyuko's friend whispered to her not to forget her when they change seats, but she was told that she's being over the top. She asked Fuyuko where she wanted to sit, and she replied saying she's okay anywhere. She wondered why she didn't seem bothered by the occasion one bit, but Fuyuko told her that wherever she sits, it's always been the same, and it's nothing to get all excited about. She was later called up front to pick up a piece of paper which arranged their seating plan. As she held onto the paper, she was hoping that she would get to sit next to Makiba. She hurriedly took the drawing lot and, ta-da! She was successful as everything went in her way with her seatmate, Makiba. The aura around began to glitter as Fuyuko looked overjoyed to sit right next to Makiba, hoping that their seat would never change. I wish for a cool, tall girl who has earrings, a choke. Next day, while Fuyuko was doing her daily routine, a fortune teller from the television was sad to announce that the Capricorns would have an unfortunate day of love. Fuyuko's brother told her love life situation has gotten worse due to the horoscope, but she couldn't give two fucks about it. At school, Makiba greets Fuyuko, but she replies in a gloomy way. She quickly slides past his seat and onto her chair. Her day was at stake due to the horoscope, so she hoped that Makiba would understand. and forgive her for being rude. But suddenly, the pressure got heavy for Fuyuko as she was surprised when Makiba called her name and told her that she's got lint on her hair. He requested to pick it off her, but she immediately got up from her seat and told him that she'll get it herself. In the girls' restroom, Fuyuko fixes her hair as she was nervous, thinking about how she's letting the horoscope control her day. When she gets back to the classroom, she asks Makiba if the lint's all gone now, to which he affirms. He then notices that Fuyuko was wearing different earrings and thought that they looked cute on her. When she heard this, Fuyuko's first reaction was to thank him at first, and on the spur of the moment, she couldn't bear the words as her cheeks turned red and was unable to control herself, wagging her tail after what Makiba said about her. Where does her tail go? Guys? Sometime later, at a shop, as Fuyuko looked around the items, her friend showed her a limited edition candy that is only sold locally. She tried to tempt Fuyuko to buy it, but she clearly showed no interest in it at all. Her friend told her that she's maybe one of those people who, go against the trends and beliefs of society, but she denied it. The next day at school, when Fuyuko entered the room, she noticed a familiar object by Makiba's table seat. He showed her the same limited edition item from when her friend showed her last time, even saying the same statement where it's tempting to buy a limited edition goodie. But she just went with the flow and agreed with Makiba, but it was all a lie. Makiba thought Fuyuko must be one of those people who discourage people from buying limited edition goods, since if a lot of people bought a limited edition, then it wouldn't be limited anymore and would be diminishing its value, hence the snob effect. Way to go, Fuyuko. As a way to reward Fuyuko for her intelligence, he gave her some anyway, and told her that it's important to have one once in a while since it's rarely sold and comes from time to time. But Fuyuko was confused and told him that's not what she meant. But anyway, after she received a piece, Makiba walked up to his friend Momori and tried giving him some as well. Fuyuko enjoyed the limited edition candy so much she had to go back to the store later to buy it. But unfortunately, she couldn't find the same thing Makiba had since it's not sold anymore due to it being a limited edition. At the gym, Fuyuko stood idly behind her classmates. Then her friends approached her and they asked her to play ping pong with them. As she turned down her invitation, her friend got suspicious, but was told that she just had to lay down for a bit. When she got to the infirmary, Fuyuko entered the room to see that Makiba, who had a bleeding nose, was also there and asked her if she got injured as well. Fuyuko was still surprised to see him in such a state. Then she asked him what happened. Makiba told her that he got carried away and tripped while playing basketball. Fuyuko notices that Makiba's hand is scratched and immediately tells him not to touch it. She was willing to disinfect the wound for him, but Makiba told her that it's all right, still, she insisted. After she patched him up, Makiba thanked her. He noticed that Fuyuko was being nice to him lately, but he was told not to worry about it. She then decides to head back to the gym and leaves Makiba in the infirmary, where he was then left wondering why she had come in the first place. When Fuyuko left the room, the nurse asked what happened to her, to which she replied saying she felt a little sick. The nurse told her to rest, but replied that she's already well and fit. Fuyuko was on cloud 9 after hearing Makiba's compliments to her. During a heavy rain, Fuyuko and her friend were walking down the halls, enjoying the rainfall. Her friend mentioned how nice and quiet it is on a rainy day. Then she asked Fuyuko if she disliked it, to which she denied, saying she's just been sleeping all day and hasn't gotten an opinion about it. So her friend tried to invite her into a karaoke party as a way to get her energized, but she rejected her request. A cold girl indeed. Later, when Fuyuko was about to leave school, she saw Makiba standing and staring at the rain, waiting for it to stop. When she asked him what happened, he told her that he was about to go home but completely forgot his umbrella. He thought of running through the rain all the way home. Thankfully, Fuyuko saves the day as she willingly shares her umbrella with him. Makiba asked for her permission if it was all right with her, to which she affirmed, As a way to repay her kind gesture, he insisted on holding the umbrella for her. As they walked down the street, Makiba was thankful for her help, but Fuyuko told her not to worry about it. She then shared her thoughts about how exciting the rain was, but Makiba didn't seem to notice it at all. After a while, Fuyuko was excited that they were sharing the umbrella as if they were couples, and was thankful for the rain for giving her an opportunity. Makiba notices it as well, which made her heart skip a beat on how cute he was. She stuttered and told him that it merely slipped her mind. As they continued to walk, Fuyuko couldn't help herself but feel overjoyed being with her one and only Makiba. Over the course of a week, Fuyuko wanted to initiate a conversation with Makiba, since he's the only one who's always started a conversation with her, and it made her feel bad. After some time, the teacher will be starting the class. On the spur of the moment, Makiba called out to Fuyuko, requesting her to lend her textbook so they can read it together since he forgot to bring it. He keeps forgetting everything, what an airhead. Fuyuko agreed to his request anyway, and knew it was a chance for her to talk about something with him. Makiba immediately readjusted his desk to get near her, which made Fuyuko surprised. Then, after moving his desk, that's when he asked for her permission if it was alright since he can't see. After everything's going to plan, the both of them were so close that it made Fuyuko quiver and skip a beat out of joy. She knew that the chance was now since they're close to each other. So she began to initiate a conversation with Makiba. But to her surprise, he already fell asleep, resulting in a failure since she didn't get a chance to proceed with her plan. But all is well, anyways. As she felt happiness, as she just stared at Makiba's sleeping face, wishing that this moment would last forever. After class has ended, Makiba decided to treat Fuyuko at the vending machine and got her black coffee, since he tried to get some juice but ended up pressing the wrong button, leaving Makiba with no choice. Makiba can't handle the bitter taste of it, so he offered to give it to Fuyuko instead. In the meantime, Makiba successfully got his drink, and the both of them toast to each other. He was impressed on how Fuyuko could actually drink black coffee, but she told her that it was no big deal. Look at her acting all cool and stuff. I bet you she doesn't even like the taste of it. Fuyuko took a sip and was disgusted with the bitter taste of the black coffee. Yep, told ya. She took a bunch of sips just to show off Makiba that she could withstand the taste. Makiba suddenly stared at Fuyuko, which caught her attention, wondering if he was impressed by her. She thought Makiba knew she was forcing herself, so she had to inquire his thoughts. But it was far off, seeing that Makiba also wanted to try a sip of the coffee. So Fuyuko hands it over to him, but she was confused why he'd even try to take a sip if he couldn't stomach the taste. Fuyuko was kinda disappointed when she realized that her showing off was not noticed by Makiba. Anyways, he took a sip and was also utterly disgusted with the taste. He was shaking from the pungent taste, while she was a bit happy when she saw a different expression from Makiba. After the funny interaction, Fuyuko realized something. If she were to take a sip of the drink again, it would be an indirect kiss. That sole realization made her shocked, but she sneakily took the chance to take an indirect kiss for herself, and ever since then, she has come to like the taste of black coffee. This is all for part 1 of the manga recap. Hope you've enjoyed the story that we've picked. It's one of those usual tropes where the cool, aloof girl changes drastically when meeting his or her love interest. So tell us what you liked, and if you did enjoy, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hope you all have a good day in peace.